Hey, what's going on, guys? Brandon here with Texas Revving with a Raptor R update. So another reason to get the 2024 Raptor R in the videos. Now, funny thing is, I've had the truck for as long as I have. What's my registration sticker say? March. So it's been a little bit now. Got almost 9,000 miles on it, and I've been daily driving it. I've been living with it day by day. But in my head, because I experience this truck every single day, I kind of fool myself into thinking I've showed the truck off plenty on the channel, but really I look back and not really. So that being said, it's also worked out that it's had a little bit of time and mileage gone by, so I could give you guys a little bit more thoughts about it from an owner. Starting off with some of the cons, it's actually a good thing that a con went away. If you guys didn't see my update video when I got 1,000 miles on it, I had a delayed start, like a extended cranking sound, if you will, and it didn't sound good. The battery was in good health, but like just cranked, and then finally fired up. And it would do that very specifically at certain temperatures, not a cold start, not even a hot start, but like that weird, let it sit for like 30 minutes, started back up. It did it to me a few times, got on video twice. Anyway, don't know when that stopped, but I probably haven't had that in 5 months. Just hasn't happened. And I never mentioned it to the dealership just based off what I read. Like, not a whole lot of people had remedies. Whatever the case is, never mentioned it to a dealership. It's been, you know, updated. The truck has had software updates probably 3 or 4 times since I've had the truck. I don't know if something like that did it, but ultimately, for now, it stopped. A little problem that has come and gone 2 different times is the R button. I've heard this happen with Bronco and Ranger Raptor owners as well, and maybe the latest software update, like I said, it kind of remotely, every now and then you'll be driving, it says, hey, software update tonight at midnight, hit yes or no, I'll hit yes, and it updates itself while it's parked in the garage. So maybe the latest one fixed it, but the R button has not worked on 2 different occasions. One time it didn't work for like 4 days in a row. One time it didn't work for 1 day. Well, first off, the R mode, what that is just my mode. You could configure all kinds of stuff: steering, suspension, exhaust modes, all kind of stuff like that. Before I start it, I'll tell you my R mode is sport steering, I think normal suspension, and Baja exhaust. Now the Baja exhaust is for off-road use only, so I have to like verify that, but let's just say I was going to start it up right now with the door open. I guess I should close that. And then I was going to go ahead and hit R mode. You have to do it twice, so R mode, and then I have to hit OK because off-road use only, sure thing. And then at that point, we have the suspension, steering, and exhaust the way I want it. The truck is not quiet, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not loud by any means. I don't know what my expectations were, to totally be honest. I have a GT500 with the same Predator engine, totally bone stock, so expected maybe similar to that, but it is, I would say, 40% of the noise of a GT500. It is really muffled. So right now it is Baja exhaust. We can double check here. Baja exhaust. All right, let's give it a little bit of help. Let's open up the back glass. Not a bad sound at all. Honestly, I'll tell you, it's a great sound. It's just really muffled. I'm not disputing it does sound really, really good. It's just, in person anyway, just quiet. It just is. Now, it's not quite enough to where it makes me immediately want to do anything. Again, we're almost at 9,000 miles. I've had it for as long as I have, and I haven't done anything. But maybe because I'm a little scared too, I don't want to make the wrong decision. If anyone happens to have a Raptor R in the North Austin, Texas area, let me know if I can kind of hear what your truck sounds like if you did anything aftermarket. The next thing I'm going to say is just going to make me sound like a little baby because it's not something I even realized until, I'm not joking, maybe 2 weeks ago. But there's a little bit less interior carbon fiber on the 24-year model as opposed to the 23-year model. I don't know why. Specifically this right here. Well, there's a sun glare right there. Okay, there you go. This piece, and of course the part on the other side, this piece, just some, you know, fairly hard but still plastic on the 24-year model. But every video I've seen of 24 Raptor Rs and everything I've seen in person from 24 Raptor Rs do not have this carbon fiber, and everything from 23 Raptor Rs do have carbon fiber right here. So, you know, later year model, a little less carbon fiber, but also 20 more horsepower. So choose your battles. The turn signal stock, you know how it's supposed to, you know, come off on its own after you make a turn. Like this, you're turning, and it should just jump off on its own. Every now and then it just gets stuck. That cannot be a Raptor R exclusive thing or a Raptor exclusive thing, but maybe this generation F-150, some of the stocks, I don't know, it feels fine. I mean, it's not feeling sticky, just sometimes I complete my turn, and it's a big turn, not just a little one, not like a lane change. It's a big turn, a U-turn, whatever, and once I straighten out, it keeps on clicking. So Got to be aware of that. So a little odd there. But this center console seemed like it did a better job staying up when it was brand new. Now, right now we're stationary and if anything level, if not maybe uphill. But if I open it, yep, got to catch it. If I let it balance perfectly, it'll stay up. And there it goes. So it's just not at all going to stay up while I'm on the road at all. Any little brake pressure, this thing goes flying down. So anyway, center console, it'd be nice if it just stayed up a little easier, but you could just kind of wedge your elbow into it and it kind of works the same, but not a big deal. Now my truck has the dual panel sunroof option, which is just awesome. It makes this like a greenhouse. A little annoyance though is to open it and close it, I can't just press the button automatically once. So, you know, like automatic windows, you press once, it could go all the way down. This, if I were to close it, I press the right button, and as much as I would like for that to just close all the way, so I press it once and forget about it, it's gonna stop halfway, and then I press it again. Unless I'm doing something wrong. So I figured I'd get this on video so you guys can tell me. And the same thing goes for opening it. If I were to open it, I'd like to just press it once and forget about it, knowing that's gonna open all the way. And again, if there's something I'm doing wrong, pressing the wrong button, or I need to do something, I've tried holding it down and everything, not doing it. So just gotta press it twice, no big deal. Something pretty small but never really made sense to me is I can understand what I'm doing with the seats as far as AC and heat. Just with the lights right here, I don't think it needs to display here, but it does. So let's say I have navigation or music, whatever. I want to keep that displayed here. If I'm going to put my heated seat on, I'm going to be able to tell just between this right here. These lights do it. I don't know why it has to, you know, rob up some screen time for a few seconds there. And when I make a change, it has to pop back up again. Again, it lights up blue and red lights. I know what mode it's on just by doing this. I don't think it needs to rob that screen time for a couple seconds, especially if I have navigation going. So not sure what the point of that was. And wrapping up the cons list, I promise there's way more positives to get to, but that would be the bed cam. So if I were to be driving, right now if I press this button, it's not going to do the bed cam. It's just going to do like 360 in front. But go ahead and show you the bed cam here, which should be this one. I don't think it's going to come off on camera unless I like come right here. That is some of the worst camera quality I've ever seen. If I have a set of golf clubs back here, it looks like just a glob of a bag. It's just not good quality. I don't know why they didn't do any better for the camera quality. I mean, again, you're going to own something as a daily driver. You're going to pick up on some things, whether they're exclusive to your truck or just like something you don't like about the product in general. But if that's the end of the cons list, and it is, we're looking pretty darn good, I have to say. Now, something that some people might consider a con, but it's absolutely no surprise to me, is fuel economy. Again, the truck is not lightweight, and it's a 5.2 liter supercharged V8. So I'm getting just under 13 miles to the gallon. I have to verify that, but I think it's like 12.7, 12.8, which is just about the same, if not slightly worse than my stock Gen 1 Raptor. When I built out the Gen 1 Raptor as a mid-travel, it became 10.5. So it's much better than my last truck, put it that way. But again, under 13 miles to the gallon, and I put premium fuel in it. So now real quick, let's run through some of the things that I did. So the whole truck front to back has paint protection film because I knew I was going to be taking this off-road. So having that PPF makes me not feel bad at all. This is a really cool color, shelter green, and so kind of want to preserve it as best I can while using the truck as intended. So front to back paint protection film. I did get the decals with it, but I decided to peel off the front one here and the side one here. I just did not like the look of it. So this does have the decals just removed there, but I did keep this. In fact, I reordered them. So we put PPF on this panel and then reapplied the OEM graphics on there. So I wanted the Raptor. Initially, I was just going to only have the text, but that R actually grew on me a little bit. And then I went on Amazon and in a very subtle way on this dark green, the American flag, I think looks pretty cool. So PPF, decal delete, reapply, and the US flag. I also got these little amber light covers from Amazon. They're also from Rigid, but the Rigid lights came on the truck. But yeah, these little side ones, this is the auxiliary 1 switch, and this is fog lights. As cool as those are the only options. And the tone of amber is different from the actual amber lights from the Raptor. So, you know, have two different tones there. Some people don't like it. I don't mind it, but something I did there. And these things look like RC trucks from the factory with their long antennas. I got this one from Amazon, and looks a little bit better and doesn't stick out so far. The performance on this isn't bad, but it doesn't matter because as I found out, I didn't know it was going to be like this. But I never even turn the radio on in this thing. It's always Apple CarPlay, so I just play things straight from my phone. Oh, I suppose, not really a con, just something I noticed, is all the active kind of cooling. You can see some of these, like, those slats here are closed, and they open up when, like, you know, I'm driving and it thinks it wants more air to cool down. And then we have a second stack of that right here. Now, when these things are open, I'm going through really, really tall grass and, like, you know, sunflowers or what the hell ever I'm, like, running over. You can see it gets trapped with spiky plants and stuff like that, and I'm not really able to just fish it out of there. So maybe if I get some tongs, I'm able to clean that out if these things stay open. But anyway, when that's open, that definitely catches some tall grass and just overall gunk if you're off-roading it in some tall stuff. And then just overall, like I said, the truck I had before this was a Gen 1 Raptor. It's a 2014, so there's a decade between the trucks that I've had, 2014 and 2024. And a lot of the tech, I didn't realize how much I would appreciate. And to be fair, if you guys are watching this still as Gen 1 fans, you are totally in the right to be Gen 1 fans. There's so much of the Gen 1 I still miss even having this. But some tech and some amenities I didn't realize I would like, but I do. So we have the, power tailgate here. Now the Gen 2s have this as well, but nice and soft. You just press it once and there it goes. And this isn't just an exclusive thing to the R, this is all Gen 3s, but they're also powered up as well. So if I wanted to, I could just double press this and it'll lift. That's really only applicable if I'm walking away from the truck and I'm just far from it. I'm like, oh, go ahead and just press that. But actually more applicable is you're probably gonna be grabbing something heavy that takes up your hands here. So if I have my golf bag or whatever here, I could just take that, and then with my knee, I could just knee this up a little bit, drop it, and it has the hint, and it goes up from there. So that is one of those things that I would have thought were quirky, but that's come in handy a lot more. So, I'll spoil myself to some tech here and there. That's actually pretty handy. Something else that's not exclusive to the R, but I just have to give praise to an overall good design. Maybe not even honestly exclusive to Ford, but anyway, I had a flat with a rear left tire. I was off-roading and caught a sharp rock, it must have been. I was not going easy on this truck, but this tire, not this exact one, but it popped and went down to like 0 psi within about like 30 seconds. And we were out in some ranch, and I honestly didn't even know how to access the spare. I know it's under here, but I didn't know anything about the tools. And knowing absolutely nothing, I was able to get the new tire under here, which is a full-size spare with the full regular wheel and everything, like these awesome looking wheels from the R's. I was able to get that on there, and okay, not totally proud of myself, probably 45, 55 minutes maybe. But if I had to do it again, knowing what I know, I could do that in maybe 20 minutes. It's actually super easy to get a spare changed up, and you're good to go again. This isn't a tutorial, but just to give you guys the quick run through on it. This isn't really made to be, storage in the back, but you can fold this down and access the jack and all that good stuff back there. Now, the hilarious thing with Raptors is the faster you go, the smoother things get. So that's kind of a weird thing to wrap your head around. Speed bumps, or just generally off-roading, whatever it is. Once you go slow, it's gonna move the size of whatever the obstacle is, and at that point, it's like no different than, a Lariat F-150. It's the high-speed off-roading that makes this go really, really smooth. So it's kind of a weird thing to commit to. Now, we're gonna go ahead and gun it here because we got people coming up behind us. It accelerates more like a sports car than anything else. So you just pull out and you're able to do that, which is just way too much fun. Same thing here, we can just kind of pull out here. We're not, absolutely cutting them off or anything, but just accelerate nice and quick. That's half throttle. The tires are already just crying for life here. Let's go ahead and turn our turn signal on and totally confuse people, but a hybrid in the sense that you can go on road nice and comfortably, and then at any moment, just go ahead and bomb down this little thing here, where a lot of vehicles can't even go. Now, again, this is one of those weird things that the faster you go, the smoother it is. But it's a little more difficult with one hand. That's the quickest I've taken it in this truck, and it's the smoothest it's been. It's just one of those weird things that you got to commit to. And then just like that, we're under this underpass. So this truck, that's where it's so much fun. Now, I will say this is not exclusively an R thing. If it has Raptor in its name, it goes like this. Something about a vehicle that you can just daily drive in a very comfortable manner. I'm talking even the Gen 1 Raptor was just a great and comfortable daily driver. And you kind of start feeling like the king of the road, because at any moment you can just bomb down some trail and just kind of, you feel like you could take this vehicle anywhere. And I think that's just a Raptor thing. Again, not an R thing, just Raptors in general, but nice to say the R is no exception. I'm saying all that, let's go ahead and go into this creek just because why not? Not totally sure how deep it is, so we'll be, for the most part, careful. Let's go ahead and just turn around here just to say we went boating in the Raptor R. Do a little Austin Powers turn. And then see how deep we are here. We got plenty more room. Raptors just make you feel like you go absolutely anywhere. So it's just awesome in that regard. Now this is way steeper than the video shows, and rear wheel drive only, still no problem. We don't need to go into 4 just yet. So there we go. Big old bump there, smooths it out nicely. I like that I can go into rear wheel drive only, too high. Whereas the TRX, which is, I'm sure, a fine truck. I'm not trying to draw too many comparisons here, but that was the one thing that, well, not one thing, there's a few things that kept me out of a TRX. But the big one was that it could not go into rear wheel drive only. And so you got 702 horsepower, which is awesome. That's what the world needs in a truck. I love it. But it was stuck in 4-wheel drive. Now, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be surprised if it had a lot of rear wheel bias, so it could get the tail end out a little bit. But now we're talking 720 horsepower, and you're able to go rear wheel drive only if you want, which is how I'm doing it, you know, more often than not anyway. I only go into 4-wheel drive if I'm trying to get out of a muddy situation, which I've done a few times. And again, not trying to draw comparisons here with the TRX. That's not what this video is, but maybe one day I'll link up with the TRX owner. We can make that video happen. Right there, by the way, did a U-turn. Have to manually check the turn signal off, so just one of those examples. Anyway, what I was saying though is, on one occasion I may or may not have done a rolling race with the TRX, and it was fairly close, but the R was slightly pulling, which is more impressive considering that these come with 37s and TRXs only come with 35s. So just overall, I've known of people who've experienced both. The R usually takes the cake, but I'm not trying to start any fights here. TRXs are also way better value at this state in the market, so, you know. Now, wrapping up the video while I park it, that's appropriate because a lot of people made fun of me for getting this into my garage, but only barely, saying that the truck deserves a better garage. Well, I disagree because, mind the beeping, I have my way of parking it. All I have to do is get right up to that line, just a little bit more, right about there, put it in park. And this thing actually fits in my garage height-wise and everything like that. It could cozy up next to the 500 and the 350, and has been working out just fine. Ultimately, as big as this truck is, it kind of shrinks itself with all of its, you know, 360 cam, this, that, and also seems to lighten itself with the 720 horsepower, but that's the illusion. I could tell just by how much I was talking, this video definitely ran longer than I anticipated. So if you made it this far, I appreciate it. But yeah, guys, I think I covered everything I really want to, just getting, you know, just under 9,000 miles so far. That's the impressions. Ultimately, love the freaking truck. Now, real quick update. I do have an order for Ranger Raptor. Some of you guys may have known that, but it kind of changed recently. I had an order on a Shelter Green Ranger Raptor to have alongside this, having the lighter weight Ranger with its EcoBoost V6 twin turbo, and then this monster with the V8. I think they would have been such a cool dynamic duo, and they will be. But I had it in Shelter Green, so it could be like the Dr. Evil and Mini-Me. But then I found out that they're doing Desert Tan in 2025. So I was able to get a reorder and extend it a little bit. So I probably won't get it until summer of 2025. But Ranger Raptor's coming, and I do not plan on getting rid of this truck. So that'll be a really, really fun duo of trucks there. Just very different. Anyway, it's not about the Ranger in this video. Kind of related, but not really related to the R. I just want to say this as just a broad statement for everyone who's still here. Nothing about this truck or anything material has, you know, gone over my head. But every now and then I definitely do reflect and just realize how fortunate I am. So I just want to leave that out there. Most of the comments I see out there regarding the Raptor R particularly is about the price of it. That's a con too. I'll say, even though I bought one, they are very expensive. I think slightly more expensive than they should be, but that doesn't mean I don't like it. It's just kind of diminishing returns, if you will. It is, for me, the best truck. But it's not, you know, $30,000 better than the 37, if you will, the 37 pack EcoBoost F-150. It's unfortunate that most of the comments I see on this are just regarding the price, because it takes away from how great the truck is. Now, that being said, I understand it as well. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Ultimately, it's that I'm very happy that I was able to get this truck. Get everything that I have for that matter. And I don't know if you guys know it, but what I do for a living is actually YouTube, just not on this channel. It's a different channel. And I'm not here to plug myself or plug what that even is, but definitely, you know, very, very fortunate. I look back every now and then and just see how things have developed. And now we're, you know, swinging up and trying to get that GTD. Got approved for the GTD. And much like when I put the order in on this truck and I was a little intimidated, hoping I could come up with the funds to do so. And I was absolutely able to do that. And it felt awesome. We're doing it again with the GTD, and after the GTD, I don't know what's in the future, but I'm very, very grateful. So I don't want that to be lost or anything. And this content could maybe be useful for future Raptor R owners, current Raptor R owners, or just anyone watching vicariously that, I don't know, maybe need a little inspiration. I'm not here to sell you guys a freaking course or anything cringy like that, but I'm just saying that, I don't know, put any kind of work in there. And it can start to pay off. I still don't think I'm where I want to be, but it's definitely kind of showing glimpses. And so life's pretty good. And I really appreciate you guys watching. It means a lot. I don't take any of this for granted. I promise you that. So thanks so much. See you guys next time.